All you wanna do is talk, I don't need talk. I heard somebody talk. I can pull up with that, Chewbacca that. Banging my chest and my...
Today, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's a special New Year's Eve edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here we go with the Packer offense guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Now Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. Now Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. Now, this defense for the Lions, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. A very lengthy opening drive as this will be play number 12 coming on 3rd and goal. Looking to run it in, Kuhn. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. It's the fullback. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the 10. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. The numbers for Sanders last week, 16 carries, 116 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 50, it's gone. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit. To throw on 2nd and 10. Goff. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. To the air again. Goff. Packer pressure, and down he goes. defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Brown. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
On first down, Rodgers. Slant to Adams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Only needing 2 yards on second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
If this is what you want to see from a defense, give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Goff. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is. Head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Rodgers going to throw. And it's complete to Adams. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. He hits Adams complete. And he's brought down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that one will be accepted. Rodgers again now, eluding the pressure right. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a 1st down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Rodgers now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, 30 yards. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Now Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And a long run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Goff throwing again. A slant pass complete to Swift. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Goff. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Again, Goff. He's got it. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Out of the gun, Goff. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Goff now looking to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Robbie Anderson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Taking it about the 1. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. DJ Moore, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Christian Michael, up over 100 yards receiving with 2 touchdown grabs. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taken from about the 12. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Now they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. 58 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. For a lot of people, the MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now a carry for Sanders. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Goff. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And he's got this down to the 35.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Gets it off to Freeman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll keep it on the ground. Green. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point try now for Crosby. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken from about the 12. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. 65 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A shotgun snap for Goff. Looking sideline, incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Goff. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll try and run it in, the fullback Kuhn. Yeah, he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. The kick by Crosby is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to... Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Goff. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now Goff on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. It's caught by Sanders. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Robbie Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Lions have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
A try here for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Here's Rodgers to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Flush to his right. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Rodgers now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He finds his man complete. That's Freeman. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Green, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. A drive that time of 6 plays, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A touchdown!
Robbie Anderson, 69 yards. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. cut the lead down now to a touchdown. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
This is it! This is it!
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Well, not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. Finding Schultz. He's at the 40. And he's going to get this down inside of Green Bay's 15-yard line. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. And it's caught. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Extra point forthcoming. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. to throw. Rodgers. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. He finds his man, complete. That's Freeman. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They will run with Grant. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. This from 51 yards for the win. It's on target, and it's good. From 51 yards out, he drills it. And there'll be some happy cheeseheads tonight as the Packers have won the game. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you, these division games, never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this, too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game, on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Packers, they improved to 11-5 now with 1 week remaining. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.